it's Sarah Larby from Everyday Investor, guest host and producer. And today we have a great topic and a great guest, Seth Ferguson, talking about multifamily investing. And also, don't forget to join and register for the multifamily conference, which is going to be May 14th and 15th. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk all about that shortly.
They don't really look at what the asset, the property is producing. You could have great cash flow in a single family home, but that's not really going to matter when they're approving you for a loan. On the commercial side, things change a little bit. So now the lender's looking at the property itself to qualify for the debt, and they're looking at you as the operator second.
The importance of hiring a contractor that's works with the real estate investors is they really understand the process. The difference between wants and needs is very important when it comes to REI investing. So, do I need to fix this electrical panel or do I need quartz countertops? Well, if you're working with an REI contractor, if you're okay with me calling an REI contractor, is because, we work with you guys. We understand the difference between ROIs and the difference between the pretty stuff and the important stuff. I really feel like if you're going to hire somebody for a conversion process, they should understand the conversion process. If you're just doing a home rental and you want to do a kitchen project, you just hire a small kitchen company or a small company like that. But when it comes to the conversion, when it comes to REI, work with an REI contractor. If you have any questions, reach out to me.
The mortgage world has changed. Has your advice? Are you looking for a modern approach to your mortgage planning process? Advice tailored to your unique, ever-changing circumstances? Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, purchasing, or refinancing, the Kyle Ford Mortgage team works with individuals and companies to custom tailor the right mortgage product for you. Working with a wide selection of lenders, we're here to serve our clients and help them achieve their real estate and retirement goals. Contact the Kyle Ford Mortgage team today, Canada's mortgage choice.
Hey guys, Omar Khan here from Theta Trading. I wanted to talk to you about understanding what you own and why you own it. Before you get into any investment whatsoever, whether that be stocks, real estate, or anything else, you should thoroughly understand what you own and why you own it. Because when you own an asset category, and that asset category, if it falls in price, you should have the confidence to average down and buy more if you have the assets to do so. But ultimately, you should be unnerved unless something has changed. So what really boils down to what defines a successful investor is understanding what they're investing in, thoroughly understanding it, understanding where it's going in the future, and that allows you to remain calm during all market environments. We'll see you guys next week, and keep in the markets.
Welcome back. Seth, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure having you on.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you are, when I think of multifamily investing and investing in the U.S. as well, you're one of the first people that come to my mind. Tell us a little bit about, how you got into multifamily investing and why multifamily.
Well, I have my son to blame. So I am a former single-family home investor, and that's what I was doing at the time. And then my son came along, and I realized that I needed to go bigger because now I have a kid. I have to provide for him, make sure he's secure. It's all that lifetime kind of stuff. And what I found was with single family, I couldn't scale. I didn't fit inside the lender's boxes anymore. The cash flow wasn't really there. I was equity rich, cash flow poor, like a lot of people are when they're in single family. And the one thing I did know was that I made the most amount of money I'd ever made in owning real estate. So I knew real estate was the right asset, but the single family vehicle I was using was the wrong one. So I started looking at other real estate types, office, industrial, self-storage, and multifamily really resonated with me, and I haven't looked back since.
I guess it's like one roof, one furnace, right, to replace it and so forth. But, do you think that somebody, there's like a stepping stone to it? Because there's obviously lots of strategies that work for different people. But do you think that, people get their feet wet a little bit in single families and then they go to multifamily? Or, do you suggest somebody jump right into multifamily?
That's a very common question that I get. And depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a different answer. But my answer is, if I could go back in time and I could go straight into multifamily, I would. I think looking back, I would be millions and millions of dollars ahead from where I am now. And multifamily, there's no prerequisite. So you don't have to start with a single family home or a duplex or a triplex. You can go right into multifamily. And in some cases, you're probably better off doing that because you can have professional management right off the bat versus trying to do it yourself with single family homes. And there's all sorts of other benefits like the improved cash flow, the commercial debt. So if you're somebody right now who's doing single family homes and you're thinking about getting into multifamily, or if you're brand new and wondering which type of real estate to buy, don't hesitate, don't second guess yourself. There are resources out there and you can go in successfully to multifamily and build a portfolio.
Absolutely. So multifamily, I mean, you've got the small residential, right? The 2, 3, and 4 units, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, depending on which lenders you're talking to. Yeah. But I think, what you're referring to for yourself anyways is that larger multifamily. So your 5+ units when it's considered commercial multifamily. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So like you said, depending on the lender, you're typically at 6 or 7 units, and then you're on the commercial side. And there are differences between the residential and the commercial side, but in my opinion, there are so many advantages to being in that commercial space.
Well, let's talk about that. So what are some of the advantages? I mean, you talked about lending, but give us some ideas and some insights on what the advantages are.
Yeah, well, most people will be familiar with residential mortgages where the bank wants an arm and a leg and your firstborn child just to get a loan. And what the bank does is they actually look at you as a borrower to really shoulder the burden of the debt. So your income has to qualify for the debt. They don't really look at what the asset, the property is producing. You could have great cash flow in a single family home, but that's not really going to matter when they're approving you for a loan. On the commercial side, things change a little bit. So now the lender is looking at the property itself to qualify for the debt, and they're looking at you as the operator second. So one thing I say all the time is we're actually buying a business that just happens to be tied with real estate. And the other difference I would mention too is the way these assets are valued. With residential real estate, we use what's called the comparable approach. So if we have a number of 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes on the same street, and one sells for $500 and the other one sells for $500, well, guess what? Your home is worth $500. With commercial real estate, it's valued using what's called the income approach. So what that means is the NOI, the net operating income the property produces, really determines the value along with the market cap rate. So as an owner, we have a lot more control over the valuation of our asset. So combined with the lending, where the scalability factor is definitely there, more so with the commercial side, and combined with the valuation aspect, commercial I feel has so many advantages over the residential space.
I think you also have a little bit more control, right? Because you were talking about the NOI, net operating income. I mean, essentially, let's talk about what that is. But if you can alter that one way or the other, your end result could be drastically different. And you can have a 10-unit building on one side of the street producing, $100,000, a year as an example, NOI, and you can have another one exact same producing 150, and the actual worth of that or that value of that property can be drastically different. So what is involved in how to figure out what the NOI is?
Yeah, excellent question. And we always have to remember that we're really buying businesses, like I said. So and the value of a business is derived from the income it produces. So like you said, it's all about optimizing the cash flow while optimizing expenses and increasing the cash flow. So driving that increase in the NOI. So the net operating income is really, you take your gross income, so the rents, any laundry you have, ancillary services, all the income the property is producing, and you subtract the expenses. And that gives you your net operating income. And like you said, it puts a tremendous amount of control in our hands as the owner. Because if we can acquire a property, increase the rents, bring in other revenue streams, and at the same time optimize our expenses, we're generating profit and income and value for our property that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do in a residential real estate type of setting.
Mm-hmm. And you said it really well. And I do want to add for anybody at home not in this game yet, the NOI is not necessarily the cash flow, right? Because when you're talking about your expenses, it doesn't necessarily include the mortgage cost. Can you give us more insights on that?
Exactly. So we call it above the line and below the line. So above the line is your net operating income, your NOI. The reason we don't include debt service, so any financing you have on the property, is because it's really up to the owner's discretion. One owner may decide to leverage up to 70%. One owner may pay all cash. Debt doesn't really factor into into the day-to-day business of operating the property. So for that reason, that's below the line. So once we determine our NOI, we go below the line and subtract our debt service, and that gives us our cash flow. So the money actually going into the owner's pocket.
Amazing. So now you went into the United States and started acquiring there. Being a Canadian, have you always gone to the U.S. markets, and if so, why?
Yeah, so when I was doing my single-family home investing, I was acquiring properties here in the GTA, where you have a shoebox and it's worth $1 million.
That's it.
That's it. There were a number of challenges. Number one, you have the landlord and tenant laws here in Ontario. We have rent control, and I'm sure we could do an episode that's 4 hours long talking about rent control. There for a number of different factors, I looked south of the border. We have the market size. You look at Canada versus the US, Canada is a drop of water in the huge US market. It's a capitalist juggernaut. So the number of major metros available is a lot bigger. And for myself, I'm a big fan of the drivers right now impacting the markets in the southeastern US. We've got different tax policies occurring there. We've got a demographic shift, so people are fleeing the coast, so California and New York, and they're going where the jobs are. So we've got strong GDP growth, strong job growth, and we have the tax policy as well. Plus, landlord and tenant legislation is different. So that, for those reasons and a couple more, that's why I hunt in those markets.
Yeah. What are some examples of those markets?
Yeah. So Orlando, Dallas-Fort Worth, San Antonio. Markets like that were, for me, I always look for strong job growth, taxation policy, the demographics as well. We have 7 key drivers we look at.
Okay, amazing. And how do you, being in Canada, manage and purchase and do all of that, being so far away?
It takes a team. And when you're doing these larger real estate deals, you can't do it on your own. And I think that's one of the benefits of the multifamily, the commercial multifamily side is, a lot of people on the residential side, and this was definitely me, you're wearing like 5 to 10 different hats. You're the general contractor, you're signing on the loan, you're scouting out properties, and you're kind of like the jack of all trades, but master of none. With commercial and with these larger properties, you can actually bring on specialists for a specific role. So you could have somebody on your team specifically underwriting the deals. So they're a numbers person. They're crunching spreadsheets every single day. That person is not necessarily the person who's going to go out and talk with investors. Very different personality types, but because you have more meat on the bone with these larger properties, you can have true specialists, and at the end of the day, the investor is probably getting a better product because you have people focusing on what they do best.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I mean, obviously, a team is important wherever you are, but especially if you are remote and you're doing this type of scale. Give us an example, if you don't mind, of maybe the last property that you purchased. What was it? How did you find it? And we'll go through that. Yeah,
for sure. So there's a great property in Orlando. It's a resort type of property. So
my favorite. One of my favorites.
Exactly. So you can actually take out like a paddle board and then go on the lake. There's a beach there, it's on a lake, 278 units, it's Class B value add. So some of the stuff we're doing there is we are changing the exterior paint scheme, so kind of rebranding the property a little bit. We've renamed the property, and we're going through some interior renovations, so replacing some kitchens, flooring, putting in some eco-friendly faucets like shower heads, that sort of thing, and really adding some new income-producing streams. So we've got covered parking, trash pickup services, private yards for some units, and so we're about 3 years into the business plan with that one, and everything's been great, and the Florida market has just exploded.
Amazing. I mean, that sounds great. So the people that are buying into the project, are they individuals that have an individual property in those 270 plus units, or is it a pool of people, or how are you structuring that?
Yeah, so what you're describing is called syndication. It's where you have one group of people who are managing the deal, and the other group is the passive side. So it's called the limited partnership. And what those people do is they fund the project with capital. They're investors who want to get all the benefits of investing in real estate, but they don't have the time or the experience. So they actually pool their money together and invest in a real estate syndication. So they get all the benefits of ownership, the tax benefits, the cash flow, the capital appreciation, but they're not actually in the business day to day.
Awesome. I mean, there's tons of information, tons and tons of hours of learning I'm sure you've done, but we have an amazing event Seth is putting on May 14th and 15th. We're going to talk about the conference in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Have you been turned down by a bank? Do you not think you can qualify for a mortgage because what the person at the teller told you? Make sure when it comes to sourcing your mortgage, you're using the right broker. For example, if you're self-employed for less than 2 years, there are absolutely financing options that are available to you at reasonable terms. They may not be the best rate, but if that mortgage product allows you to get into a house now, that can secure your family's home and future. So many people hear no from the bank and they think there's no other options. Make sure you're investigating not only the A lenders and the banks, credit unions, monoline lenders, B lenders, and mix. There's many levels of lending institutions that are happy to fund you and your family's home, just maybe not at the same interest rate. For this, reach out to myself and the Kyle Ford Mortgage team. We're here to help.
If you're looking to raise more capital, do bigger deals, and scale your portfolio, the Multifamily Conference is for you. The Multifamily Conference is live and in person May 14th and 15th in Toronto. Put yourself in the room with multifamily investors from across North America to network, learn, and have fun. Tickets are on sale now at multifamilyconference.ca. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary will be sharing his capital raising secrets. Joe Fairless, who controls almost $2 billion of multifamily assets, will be breaking down his scaling framework. And our other top speakers cover every single aspect of the multifamily business, including underwriting, financing, management, deal flow, structuring, and much, much more. Get back out there. Face-to-face networking is back. Reserve your seat now at multifamilyconference.ca.
You've always dreamed of having rental income, but buying a rental property? Well, that's a tall order. Capitalize on the space in your home instead. Renovate and rent out that space with ease with LegalSecondSuites.com and the team at Wise Construction Group. With LegalSecondSuites.com, our talented team of BCIN designers, engineers, carpenters, and tradespeople can transform that unused space into a beautiful, legal, and safe rental unit. We're empowering the everyday homeowner to become an extraordinary landlord. Get more out of your home. Visit LegalSecondSuites.com for more information.
Hi, it's David Smith here from the Q Theta Fund with your investment tip of the week. Now, one of the things investing in the stock market is the stock market can actually go down, and it does quite often. But that's actually a good thing. In order for the stock market to go up over time, it has to come down at times. And there's reasons for that. Sometimes the market gets very speculative, bubbles can form, people get too excited in the short term, and drives the market up higher than it really should be. When the market comes down, that actually kind of is a cleansing effect, and it allows things to settle down, which eventually lets the market go up higher over time. This is something you should understand, that it's not something to be afraid of, but something to embrace and be prepared that this will happen. So in order to make money over the long term, let the market come down in the short term from time to time. It becomes a healthy market, and it allows your investment and the market to grow, which is exactly what you're looking for.
Welcome back. Seth, I want to know more about this multifamily event that you're putting on. Tell us more about it.
It is huge, and I have to say I'm so excited to actually see people in person again after a couple of years of Zoom. So yeah, it's called the Multifamily Conference, and what we're doing is we're bringing investors from across Canada and the United States together in one place in Toronto, May 14th and 15th, like you said, to talk about strictly multifamily. And I am so thrilled to have the speaker lineup we have. I've personally handpicked who I feel are the top experts in the space. So we've got Kevin O'Leary talking about raising capital and how to outpitch your competition. Because let's face it, if you have investors, other people are trying to take those investors from you and have them invest in their deals. So we have to improve our pitches. We've got Joe Fairless, who controls almost $2 billion in multifamily assets. He'll be talking about how to scale your portfolio and business. And we've got other experts that cover everything from underwriting, financing, structuring, you name it, we've got it.
Okay, so it's essentially 2 full days of everything we need to know about multifamily investing, networking. I mean, it'd be awesome to hang out with Kevin O'Leary. I'm going to be there. Rav is going to be there. You're going to be there. We're going to be.
We might have to raise the price of the tickets if you're going to be there.
But you know what? It is going to be a great event. I'm excited about it. So where is this event going to be?
Yeah, we're close to the airport because we have people flying in from all over the place. So it's at the CAA Center. It's actually the home of the Brampton Battalion, or the former home of the Brampton Battalion. And so very close to the airport, very accessible to everybody. And then we also have an after party too on the Saturday night for a couple ticket types. So that's going to be insane.
So ticket types, talk to us about what the different ticket types are going to be, because I want to be at that after party.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got 3 different ticket options, and before I go into those, I think a lot of people are just probably wondering, hey, is this the type of event for me?
Right.
And let me just put it this way: if you're somebody who has some real estate experience, maybe you're doing single-family homes, self-storage, whatever it is, and you're interested in getting into multifamily, this event is definitely for you, because we're going to show you how you can get into multifamily and scale your portfolio that way. But if you're already somebody who's investing in multifamily, but you want to level up your business, this event is definitely for you too, because we're going to show you how you can actually raise more capital, deploy that capital more efficiently, and have a huge impact on your business. So whether you're just starting out in multifamily or you're already experienced in multifamily, we definitely have speakers that are going to speak directly to the problems and the challenges you're having. But let me go back to the ticket types. I went on a little bit of a segue.
No, I mean, it's great to know who this could work for. It sounds to me, as long as they're in real estate in some capacity or want to be in real estate, right? This is not necessarily like the beginner type of why you want to do real estate over stocks and bonds. This is more, okay, you're in real estate. Let's take you to that next level. Let's help you scale. And here are the tools and the speakers to best be able to do it.
100%. And just to give you an idea of who's coming. So on one side, we've got people who own a single family home rental, and they want to jump into multifamily. We've got people who own some smaller multifamily properties, maybe 30 units or so. And then we have people on the flip side, $250 million worth of portfolio value. So we definitely have something for everybody, as long as you have an interest in succeeding in multifamily real estate. That's the only prerequisite there is. But for tickets, we have 3 different ticket options. The very top ticket is called the VIP. That's where, it's 200 people. If you're coming to do some serious networking, you definitely want to be in the VIP. You're eating all the meals with the speakers. We've got the after party. We have a mixer with Kevin O'Leary, and it's really geared towards those people coming to make those true connections with people. We've got Platinum. You're sitting right behind the VIP. You're partying hard with you at the after party. And then we've got the Elite ticket, which is the base ticket. So if you're somebody coming and you're just looking to get started into multifamily, Elite is a perfect ticket for you. It gets you in, and you're going to have some great seats and learn a whole lot from the speakers over 2 days.
Okay, so you have lots of different options. We'll put the website as well. People can go there to buy their tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we have a special discount code. So it's EDI10, and you can save 10% off. And you just have to go to multifamilyconference.ca and use your code EDI10.
Okay, amazing. So let's go back and let's talk about, let's talk about some more speaker information. I mean, I think it's awesome that Kevin O'Leary is coming to speak. And if you're in the VIP, then you're saying that they can hang out with Kevin O'Leary and spend a little bit more time, being surrounded by all of these great speakers and networking.
Yeah, the networking is huge because, one of the reasons why I wanted to create the conference is because I'm sick of Zoom and virtual events. Let's be honest, if we're sitting on the computer, the amount of information we retain is very, very low. And there's zero networking, zero interpersonal interaction. We have to bring people back together. And that's the foundation of real estate, right? Real estate is built on relationships. So this is what this event is really doing. But yeah, in terms of the other speakers we have, Pierre-Paul Turgeon, former CMHC underwriter, he's going to be covering how to underwrite, model, and analyze multifamily properties. Dahlia Barsoum is coming to talk about financing multifamily properties. That's her specialty. We've got Guy Bouchard from out in BC, who is doing some really cool structuring in terms of how he's putting together his deals. Really, really neat stuff. We've got Mike Reed, Joel Block, Robert Gavreau, and many, many more. So I am absolutely thrilled about the speaker lineup.
Are you speaking as well?
Yeah, I'm going to be on stage. People will have to put up with me a little bit too.
But you know what? You've led by example, right? I mean, you've built your real estate, scaling up by starting from what single families, and you did what you did now. So I think you're a great person to learn from and to speak because you've got the experience yourself. Aside from that, so I mean, that sounds like an amazing event. There's probably some networking opportunities, some breaks in the middles, the food. Can you share? Like, there's probably I think there's a room with some sponsors. Give us some more information on that.
Yeah. So if anybody that knows me knows I love to eat. I love food, and trust me, the food's going to be really, really good in the VIP lounge. Yeah, food.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no issues with food. And at the after party, we have a taco truck, so it's going to be pretty good. And we do have exhibitors. So those are all around the concourse at the event, and that's going to range from help raising capital to passive investing opportunities to legal to accounting. We have some really cool exhibitors and vendors that will really benefit the attendees coming there.
Right. So I think, ultimately it's about building your team. And you mentioned in the beginning, we have to build a team. Whether you're investing in the US, you're investing here, that is going to be key. So I think it's a great opportunity for someone that may need to upgrade their team or doesn't have the full team to see who else they need to be able to scale to that next level themselves.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you're an active investor or a passive investor, you still need your success team. And the strength and quality of your success team will directly impact your eventual success. So you need to have the right people on your team.
Absolutely. So that's EDI 10, May 14th and 15th. Full days, does it start bright and early?
We're full days, bright and early, and then the after party goes until midnight. So it's we're going to be rocking and rolling.
Amazing, amazing. Now, you also have a TV show.
Yeah, we do. So I've had some great guests, including Sarah Larby. So you've come on a couple times. So we have a real estate TV show called Real Estate Simplified. You can find it on Cogeco if you're a Cogeco subscriber. And we cover real estate, general real estate topics from buying and selling your home to investing in single-family homes, commercial real estate, and development.
Amazing. And where does that air?
It airs on Cogeco. So if you are a Cogeco subscriber anywhere in Ontario, you can find it. Just search for Real Estate Simplified.
Very, very cool. So you're going to be at the event. I'm going to be at the event. Rav's going to be at the event. I think it's a great opportunity to meet, you at home and to have, additional conversations and start building our connections, right? They do say that you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most.
That's right. We've been cooped up for too long. Let's get back out there and get networking again.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you, I've known you for a little bit now, putting this event together, the TV show, I mean, it takes a lot, right? It takes a lot, and it's a mindset piece. And I think, we often talk about our success as real estate investors, but it's about creating a brand, I think, as well. And it's also about mindset. Share with us maybe a little bit of your lifestyle, what real estate investing, specifically in the multifamily, has done for you from a lifestyle standpoint.
I think the main thing is it's all about expanding your boundaries, because if I was still doing the single family home investing, there's no way I would have thought big enough to doing a national or international level conference. So I think scaling up into multifamily, you're thinking bigger with not only the asset, but you're thinking bigger with what you can accomplish. And so for anybody out there who has big dreams, you have to scale your thinking, and you have to get the right people, like you were talking about before. Bring the right people around you. Surround yourself with people thinking the same way. But yeah, by far, that's the biggest thing. My mind has just expanded exponentially.
Mindset, lifestyle, surrounding yourself with those people that can take you to that next level, I think is going to be key as well. So I hope to see you there at the event. Seth is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Rob's going to be there. There's going to be lots, Kevin O'Leary is going to be there. Lots of other great speakers as well. And right below here, this is your code, EDI10, to get your ticket with 10% off. And thank you, Seth, for being on the show. And congratulations on your success as well. I mean, you are a very successful multifamily investor.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. I love this. Thanks for having me.
Amazing. Thank you very much at home for tuning in, and come back next week.